The hairs on the back of my neck literally stood up on end. I was blown away. The computer made tens of thousands of ideas for new chemical weapons, but what that clinical pharmacologist found was only the beginning. Biosecurity experts are sounding the alarm. We might be just 1, 2, 3 years away from Black Death-level plagues sweeping the earth, enabled by increasingly powerful AI, and especially open-source AI. You heard that right. It sounds like science fiction, but experts aren't laughing. AI is teetering on the edge of becoming uncontrollable. I don't think we have a lot of time. Whatever we do, it has to happen fast. But why are biosecurity experts so worried? The inventor of the CRISPR gene drive recently warned that AI could one day create a pathogen so deadly it could eradicate 9 in 10 humans on Earth. And this could happen in months. In 2020, COVID infected roughly 50% of Europe within 100 days. Now, picture everyone you know who got COVID. Likely you, your family, and, well, nearly everyone you know. But imagine that 9 in 10 of those people were now dead. And imagine them all perishing in just 100 days. 3 months after you heard about it. A virus like this could decimate humanity far too fast for us to make and distribute a vaccine. AI could make it easier to build chemical or biological weapons. Terrorist groups could use AI to spread fear and destruction on an even greater scale. One thing experts worry about is extinction cults. Cults who literally want to kill everyone. Yes, they exist, but they've never had technology powerful enough to actually kill everyone. But AI could be just what they need. For example, OM Shinrikyo is the doomsday cult that carried out the deadly Tokyo subway nerve gas attack in 1995. But why do scientists think this could happen in just 1, 2, 3 years? Consider AI art. Even just 1 year ago, it was a joke compared to the best artists. Now, in some ways, AI is by far the best artist in the world. Imagine a human going from kindergarten finger painting to the best artist in the world in 1 year. Eyes are not only passing, but acing all the tests we can throw at them. It's outperforming doctors, lawyers, and even acing all our creativity tests. Yeah, creativity tests. So if AI can blow past us at all these things in just a year, it could plausibly get far better at making viruses in a year too. So how exactly could AI be used to create a pandemic? If you say, hey AI, how do I create a virus that ends life on Earth, and it has an open source model, meaning it has no safety guardrails at LLB like? Sure, here are some ideas. However, ChatGPT is supposed to refuse to answer. The problem is that ChatGPT is easy to trick. Here's a crazy example. MIT researchers ran an experiment where they told some students to try to use an AI similar to ChatGPT to create a pandemic. It only took the students just 1 hour to get the AI to suggest for deadly pathogens. It also helpfully explained how to actually generate those pathogens, and it told the students how to pull off this pandemic without getting caught. It told them how to secretly get the equipment they needed, and how to find a shady DNA synthesis company that would actually make their virus without asking questions. Recently, a company announced they built an AI capable of not just creating the formula for novel toxic molecules, but their AI can actually create the molecules themselves too. Like the AI generates the idea for the toxic molecule and then can actually go and make it. Believe it or not, there's an entire field dedicated to making viruses deadlier and more virulent called gain-of-function research. If that sounds like a terrible idea, well, many think it is. It's supposed to give insight into how viruses behave so that we might better defend against them in the future, but comes with the risk of creating stronger viruses that might escape the lab. There have been hundreds of reported lab leaks throughout history, and it is possible that thousands more lab leaks have gone unreported. One of the leading theories is that COVID escaped from the Wuhan Institute of Virology, which was experimenting with creating more deadly coronaviruses. If an accidental mistake could cause a global catastrophe like COVID, imagine what could happen when the next Osama bin Laden uses AI to create super smallpox. You can also imagine the scenario where you say, I want to kill 1 million people. Show me a biological path to do it. These are the dangers that we have to make sure are not happening. We need to put guardrails and limits. People are working on these problems. We just don't fully understand the solutions, yet some AI companies like OpenAI and Google are trying to ensure bad actors can use their tech to destroy the world, but Meta just straight gives it away to anyone. They claim they do this for morally righteous reasons, to democratize the technology and so on, but a major reason they did it was because, Well, they were so far behind in the AI race. See, they missed the boat on AI and they were way behind OpenAI and Google. And by going the open source route, they were able to generate buzz and help their stock price. Now, Meta says their AI model is safe, but researchers were able to strip off the safety guardrails in literally 2 hours for a few $100s. If you ask it a question about how to make anthrax, it'll say, "I can't answer that question for you because they put some safety guardrails on it." But what they won't tell you is that you can do something called fine-tuning, and with $150, someone in our team ripped off the safety controls of that model. And there's no way that Meta can prevent someone from doing that. Despite this, Meta is still planning to open source their future AI models. Many experts think this is extremely dangerous. AI security researcher Jeffrey Lottish said, "AI companies are racing to make the strongest AI possible, all while knowing they remaking tools that any teenager could potentially use to destroy humanity." Pro-open source AI advocates like Jan LeCun argue that we'll use AI to defend ourselves against pandemics. But defensive technologies like metagenomic sequencing and vaccines can take years and billions of dollars to scale up effectively, yet a virus can decimate humanity in just months. Open sourcing AI means irreversible proliferation once an AI Model S weights are on the internet. They're out there forever. Anybody can use them. Like most industries where leaders advocate for less regulation, leading AI scientists are actually advocating for more. Regulatory intervention by governments will be critical to mitigate the risks of increasingly powerful models. They know this technology can go horribly wrong. Amadiah pleading with Congress for more regulation is reminiscent of Oppenheimer's actions after he developed the atomic bomb. Just days after the devastation of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Oppenheimer begged the Secretary of War to ban nuclear weapons. After World War II, countries stockpiled nuclear bombs for decades. But suddenly, in the 1980s, countries of the world came together to start voluntarily dismantling their nuclear weapons stockpiles. How did this happen? The movie, The Day After, was broadcast to 100 million Americans. Literally half of the country watched. It showed the absolute devastation and terror of nuclear war. The film was so eye-opening, it even turned the Joint Chiefs of Staff to stone. Nuclear war can never be won. It must never be fought. The film changed the world and led to 2 historic nuclear disarmament treaties. Just look how many nuclear weapons there were compared to now. Some say, well, nuclear non-proliferation failed because there are still 9 countries with nukes, and that's true. But 9 is a lot less than 200. Nukes are super scary, but Dante make nukes better. Nukes don't think for themselves, but AI does. AI can make AI better. NVIDIA is already using AI to design their next generation of chips. In fact, those chips have already shipped. Safety isn't a priority until we, as a society, decide that it is. AI is getting so dangerous that 2 former Turing Award winners, which is basically the Nobel Prize of AI, recently said they actually regret their life's work, which is a really serious thing to say. Geoffrey Hinton even quit his prestigious, highly paid job at Google to warn the world about AI. That takes serious courage. Imagine being praised as a godfather of your field, and then after 20 years being hit by the sudden realization that your technology could be the worst thing to ever happen to humanity. Right now, there's more regulation on selling a sandwich than building godlike AI. Do we need to wait for the Hiroshima and Nagasaki equivalent of AI bioterrorism before we take action? Remember, experts think this could be just 1 to 3 years away. A handful of corporations are racing to develop a button that could potentially destroy humanity as we know it. Few people are capable of creating superviruses now, but soon many more will be able to. If thousands of people have their finger on a button to end the world, should we be willing to bet that someone won't push it?